Let's now tell you about G7 summit that is all set to get underway in France from 15th of June to 17th. But ahead of the high-stakes gathering, Prime Minister Modi has a packed diplomatic lineup. After Nice, Prime Minister will be heading to the capital of Slovakia before returning to France to join the fellow world leaders at the G7 summit later this week. In fact, during his stay in Nice, the Prime Minister will be interacting with the members of the Indian diaspora and will be attending the Bharat Innovate event, where he's all set to join the French President. The visit will also feature a key bilateral meeting between the two leaders, with discussion expected on the range of issues. President Macron will be hosting Prime Minister for a working lunch before the Prime Minister departs France and travels onwards towards Slovakia, where he's all set to continue his diplomatic outreach ahead of the crucial G7 summit. So a lot lined up over the next few days as far as visit of the Prime Minister to France is concerned. Let me go across to my colleague Mayank on this. Mayank, a lineup of meetings there in France with the French President, then the Prime Minister will also be going to Slovakia and then coming back to France for the crucial G7 summit. Take us through what can be expected in the next few days.
Akansha, multiple things actually, and it's a sort of a three-point meeting which will be taking place one after the other. Now the point is with France is actually we have already elevated our relationship to a special global strategic partnership. Having said that, lots of material hardwares from France has been joining our forces, armed forces, and technological exchanges are being also discussed between the two nations. So that could be that will be a major discussion point between the two nations. The other point is Slovakia is being visited by our Prime Minister since almost 3 decades, or since 1993 there was none of the Prime Minister who have visited towards Slovakia. The other point, G7 is going to be really big get-together of top 7 country leaders and economies, because I'm using this term economies because in this turbulent time, it is going to decide the way the things will move in future and the way the international dynamics will shape. And India is a special invitee for that get-together or meeting, G7, Grouping 7 meeting. And like critical material, like the way this the current turbulence in the international relations, international economy is taking place, the supplies of the things, and also minded the deep techs and artificial intelligence in particular, the way the things are shaping up, how can it be regulated in future? Because people have been predicting that it could go out of hand also at some point or the other. It is going to be very critical, and see, minded India and France specifically, coming back to those two meetings, there are lots of other things, agreements are also supposed to take place, which includes this the very important 114 aircraft deal which is supposed to get finalized between India and France, Akansha.
All right, so a lot lined up over the next few days. Stay on with us. Let me tell our viewers more about the visit of the Prime Minister there to France, because this visit is aimed at deepening India's engagement with Europe. In France, the focus will be on strengthening the ties with the Indian diaspora, promoting innovation through Bharat Innovates, and also holding key talks with the President there. And the next leg of the visit takes the Prime Minister to Slovakia, where he's all set to engage with the country's leadership to boost the ties, trade, investment, technology, partnership. They will be very high on the agenda. Let me go back to my colleague Mayank on this. Mayank, against the backdrop of the West Asia conflict, the war that is going on there, and disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, what message is India expected to carry when it comes to the crucial G7 summit?
Right from the beginning, Akansha, and minded in the case of other turbulences which are happening or taking place across the globe, which includes the Russia-Ukraine war. In that case also, India has always been recommending, supporting or advising the world powers to opt for diplomacy. And in this West Asia case also, India has been the one which has been pushing for talks to take place, and some agreement or the other should be taking place for the larger good of the people around in the world. So this has been stance within India has also been always recommending that any rule of law at the international level needs to be every rule of law needs to be followed, and especially it should be UN mandated. And if India is also expected to participate, India has always been saying that it will be participating or helping or assisting the world under the UN umbrella, because it believes that there has to be some kind of a overseeing of the things, which leads to a proper diplomatic talks and some kind of a result. That's the stand which India has ever held, Akansha.
Absolutely, and this is very important. Prime Minister's visit to France at a time when the world is searching for stability in the era of conflict and uncertainty. Thanks so much, Mayank, for putting that into perspective. Now, what do you do when you want to catch the news on the move? Well, Times Play has you covered. The all-in-one OTT streaming platform by Times Network uniquely blends a premium digital video entertainment with the real-time news broadcasting. Catch your favorite news channel on Times Play, available on a Google Play Store and the Apple App Store as well. Thank you so much for watching.